Welcome to the Fatherhood Fitness Podcast. I'm your host, Anthony Pluff. Each week, we will cover various topics that dads struggle with in their fitness journey. I'll give you actionable steps that you can apply right away, not only to take back control of your own health, but so you're able to be a better example for your kids too. So a concept that gets thrown around a lot in the fitness space is overtraining and how you know that you're training too hard for too long. And to be honest, it's not a topic I talk too much about my clients about. Now, due to the nature of working specifically with dads don't necessarily have a lot of time to train. And so it's not really something we have to worry about. And to be honest, for most people, it's not something that's ever going to really be a factor unless you're going working out for an hour or more every single day for weeks and months on end. It's probably not something that you're ever going to have to really deal with. Now, obviously, there's going to be times in the gym where you feel like you're plateauing, you feel like you're not making progress, but there's lots of things that play into this, and overtraining isn't necessarily one of them. Now, if you're never taking rest days, then obviously that's something you're going to want to start incorporating. But for most people, for most dads, especially the ones that I have worked with, this isn't really something we talk about too much because they're not able to go to the gym every single day. They're not able to train every single day. They're not able to push their body to the limit every single day. And so it's not really something they have to deal with. Now, the reason for their plateau, the reason for them not making consistent progress is because that's normal. You're not going to steadily lose weight every single week. You're not going to gradually increase the weights that you're lifting every single week either. There are going to be weeks where your weight doesn't change. There's going to be weeks in the gym where the weights you're lifting are not going to change. And that is completely normal. Now, when you're first starting to work out, yes, it's going to be much easier to continually increase those weights because your body hasn't adapted yet. But at some point, that progress is going to slow down. And very rarely have I seen that this is due to overtraining. The majority of this is due to just the natural process of getting stronger. It gets a little bit harder, actually, for more experienced lifters. For those of you who have been doing it for years, it gets much more difficult to continue adding weight to their workouts and continuing to get strong. And I know I'm throwing around, I might be confusing you there. I'm throwing around weight as in your body weight, and I'm throwing around weights as in how much you're lifting. So I'll try and do a better job at distinguishing between the two there. But both of them go hand in hand, and both perform in a same fashion there where, the weights in the gym, sometimes you struggle to go up. The weight of your body can struggle to go down at times. Or if you're trying to pack on muscle and size, it can be very difficult to gain consistently as well. But very rarely is this due to overtraining. Most of the times, this is due to lack of sleep, not giving it enough time, and just the simple stresses of everyday life as well can play a factor into this. Now, if you are getting very little sleep, if you're not recovering properly, you don't have a great diet, then yes, you're going to want to dial back that training a little bit, because if you continue to push yourself very hard when these other factors aren't accounted for, then it can cause a lot of damage to your body and it can do more harm than good. So in that sense, yes, you would probably be overtraining. But as far as overtraining in the technical term goes, no, not really something you have to worry about. My recommendation is to work out as much as you can for as long as you can. When your kids are young, when you've got other responsibilities, maybe you're trying to build a business, you're newly married, all these things come into play. It's going to the gym may not be your biggest priority. So don't worry about overtraining. Just focus on strength training consistently, getting 10,000 steps in a day, getting 7 to 8 hours of sleep, and always focusing on nutrition, and you're going to be just fine.
That concludes this episode of the Fatherhood Fitness Podcast. Thank you for those of you who took time out of your busy schedules to listen. If you have any questions or comments or an idea for a topic for a future episode, please feel free to reach out, and I'd love to hear from you.